tackle tips, trip recaps, and more. Make sure to subscribe.
You ever caught a bluefin before? This will be your first one? Yeah, you're doing a great job. Okay, your fish is down this way, so you're gonna follow him. Tell this guy I'm under you. Perfect. You guys work together fighting those fish. Good job, boys. If you get lucky and you catch him, you're gonna eat his heart.
That's for good luck, Sebastian.
Okay, Sebastian, you gotta follow him right. Right. Fish coming over, guys. You're the perfect size to be using that rail. Look at him go.
Good job. Let him run. You ready to wind when he stops? Ready? Now, good job. Ready? Don't take him out of the water. I'll do that for you. Ready?
First bluefin. Get in there and get a picture of Matt. Get in there.
Come here.
Congratulations.
There he goes. Oh,
nice job. You want to try a piece of that heart, right? Heck yeah, you do. Don't shake your head, no. Yeah, you got to try it. This is going to be your first bluefin if you get lucky and get him in the boat?
First one, yeah.
All right.
Yep. There you go, buddy.
All right. First bluefin tuna ever. Congratulations, dude. You did a great job.
Awesome.
Couple tuna hanging in the bow. This will be your first one if you're lucky enough to land it.
This will be my second one.
Second one. You got your first one already today.
Yep.
There you go. Good job. What are you shaking that hand for? You tired? Size 4 circle hook, 25-pound test.
25.
Perfect. Nose hook, butt hook. How'd you hook the sardine? Nose hook. Right on the surface. Okay, go ahead and follow back up because you guys are coming together. Another Flyline tuna landed on the daytime right there. Heck yeah, good work. You're like an expert now after that first fish, huh? Hook fish number 2 all by himself. Now he's using the rail perfectly. Following the fish. You must subscribe to Fish the Legend on YouTube. Okay, you gotta lift up a little bit and one down. That's a mean one.
What? You're not going to the gym now.
All right, go ahead, follow it down.
On the way down, you go, I want to go to the gym. We're now right here. Deep color. He's not giving up.
Nice shot, man. Attaboy. Great work.
Yeah.
All right. Got that thing. Deep color, coming in hot. Couple fish hanging in the corner right now. Wind down when he's under the boat. Perfect. Lift when he's away. Great. Oh, they're wrapped. One under.
Go on in quick. There you go.
Good job, guys. Woo! Oh, Matt, get in there with us. Woo! Nice.
Yeah! The legend, baby!
Oh, keep going, bud. Keep going. Nice. Okay, follow.
I'm not the editor.
You're not coming, bud.
All right. Get in there with him. Both of you guys, get in there with him. Nice. Keep going right.
Beautiful.
job. Nice little bluefin on the Flyline.
All day, baby, all day. Oh, again. Real top.
Let's go. Let's get that action shot. All right, there's the color coming up hot.
Oh, you spin everything up.
Big lift. Nice job, guys.
Yeah.
Another good little Flyline fish right there. Oh, boil right there. All right. All right, you got bit Flyline sardine, yeah?
Yeah.
Butt hook or nose hook? Perfect. Oh, another boil right there. They're stuck to the boat, eating the chum. Hooking a few. It's kind of a plunker bite on the Flyline sardine. Yeah, you just got to get away from the boat a little bit. Not much wind, not much drift. Really beautiful conditions.
Hey guys, I'm here with Nate, and we just wanted to kind of break down a little bit of what's been happening on the water and what you've been seeing in this video. The passenger you saw last time, he actually talked about butt hooking his sardine, and that's just a little bit extra advantage to get your sardine to swim down versus kind of stay on the surface. I personally always nose hook. I rarely ever use the butt hook, but what do you usually do, Nate?
You know, I kind of have to play it out and see what the fish are doing. Typically I'll pick a butt hook if the fish are real close to the boat, they're not being skittish, maybe they're hanging out a little bit deeper. If I see fish boiling in the chum line, typically it's my go-to to throw a butt hook right into that chum line if I can. But yeah, they tend to swim as hard as they can and as fast as they can when you butt hook them. You don't want to fish your baits as long, they tend to die faster, but they'll give it their all during the time they're on there.
Yeah, I was just about to say, if you're kind of looking at the long soak, if it's more of a plunker bite, I'd say longevity in your sardine, but you know, if you butt hook, totally fine. Just make sure that you're kind of changing that a little bit more often. There's also things like collar hooking too, which are a little less common, but common ways is really to nose or butt hook. Also, don't be afraid to ask the deckhand too. You know, that's always a good move. Now, going into the gear that we saw a pretty good mix, and we have a Dio Alexa here. So Nate, go ahead and tell us a little bit about what are the favorites.
Yeah, so when it comes to Flyline in a bait, especially when it comes to the smaller grade fish, we're looking to downsize. So you want something with a nice, easy free spool. Doesn't necessarily have to have a ton of drag or a ton of line capacity. Maybe something that's a little smaller around so that fish isn't dragging as much line and as much spool weight when it's pulling. But we saw quite a variety in here. We saw everything, like you said, from those little star drag Lexas. That's a great example of a really, really light spool on a reel. Really thin, small shaft down the middle. Not a big fish reel, but it will certainly fish a small sardine or an anchovy better than most. The star drag stuff that we saw here, also really quality choices. A lot of Saltigas and Trinidad's. Great drag systems for a small star drag. And then we saw a few lever drags too. We saw some Avids in this video. We saw some 2-speed Saltigas. I think the 2-speed Saltiga is probably one of those reels that stands out as one of the better free spools out of like a 2-speed lever drag reel. You can still get a small bait away from the boat pretty easily with that. So a question we get all the time in the shop, and I'm sure they see frequently on the boat as well, is what's the right hook to fish? What's the best hook to fish for a live bait? Kind of changes all the time, and to be honest, this season's been a funky one as far as the bait that's available. So we always say you want to match the size of the hook that you're using to the size of the bait that you're fishing, and we've seen a huge swing. Some days the bait bar just had anchovy, some days it's been small sardine, and some days it's been really, really big sardine. A good combination of hooks to have would be a very small hook, like a size 2 or a size 4. I particularly like a circle hook for fishing that bluefin or tuna. But some guys get away fine with fishing a J hook. And then ideally you'd want to have a little bit bigger of a hook as well, something like a 1-0, maybe even a 2-0 in the box for those days that all you got's that really big sardine for bait.
So let's talk a little bit about how you fish those hooks differently.
Yeah, so the difference really starts when you're hooking your bait on. So a lot of guys have trouble with the really small circle hooks. They tend to have a really small gap between the point and the shank of the hook. If you're crushing your bait before you can even get a hook in it, you might be a J hook guy. If that's the case, just pick a real small J hook, a little size 4 or size 2. you might have an easier time pinning your bait on there, and you'll probably get bit all the same. One thing that's common for both of these hooks is you don't want to set the hook on either one of them. A circle hook will tend to come out and find the corner of the mouth, which is really, really nice when you're fishing light line. It'll keep, 20 pound, 25 pound test out of that fish's mouth and give you a good chance of landing them. But to be honest, a J hook typically finds the corner of the mouth as well. If you really put your reel in gear and you just kind of wind through your bites, you don't sit there yanking on it or setting the hook, it'll typically hook up in the corner of the mouth either way.